Oh shoot, I forgot. How was I gonna start it? Good thing about this is I can just cut parts and like write what I need to write.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. So hello, Sylvia.
Hello.
Um, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm okay. Yeah, this is one of my first interviews, so not
Awesome.
very skilled at this.
Me
But
neither.
I guess my first question would be just to introduce yourself. Like what you do, where you're from, things like that, hobbies.
Well, I'm Sylvia Gilliam. I live here in CUNY. I'm vice president at this very moment, but I came in actually being a parliamentarian, which was really great because I got a chance to see how it works for us on a different scale, like as an organizational structure, because I've never been involved in a political structure at all,
Hmm.
ever. But then when you see the causes, it's like, how can you resist the causes? Because that's life, you know. I don't want to go off the subject either, because that was almost veered to the wrong direction. But um, being on the property, I learned a lot. I do a lot of leadership, but I wouldn't say just leadership. I just like to be a role model.
Mm.
I like to be an example. I like to be a help to people. I like to be assistance, some sort, even if it's just words, even if it's just giving a resource, even if it's just inspiring and spending time or just being an ear. Um, and that's kind of what I've done all my life.
Gotcha. Okay. So, um, you are very passionate about what you do, obviously.
Yes, yes.
Um, I'm kind of curious, what got you so interested in being that role model and becoming that community STEM educator that you are, and really uh, being with the community and helping out the community like you do?
Honestly, it has a lot to do with my upcoming.
Mm.
Being able to witness the deals that kids have to experience as children, and parents not being able to be empowered to take themselves out of situations, um, and being in just a poverty, high risk area, all of these different things.
Okay.
And so living here at Kenny really opened my eyes to a different level of like desperation, like, oh my God, this need help. Like, I was like, okay, I've been there, but it's like now I became empowered
Yeah.
on certain levels, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and different things. So I feel like when you gain your capacity to help other people, do that. And when it comes out, like genuinely, people draw to you, and that's what's been happening, and it's happening more so than ever. But of course, the kids, I get out and I play with the kids. I listen to the kids. We go places together. Try to do a lot of things for them. But of course, the capacity here is not much. But being the community health worker, it actually opened up doors to get a lot of things for the kids to do, and the parents. And that's why I like the way how all this whole structure, community collaborating and connecting is going to work, because they need a holistic approach, like the wraparound services, not just targeting the kids, but I feel like all the partners that we're trying to pull in and working together, it'll capture all that stuff. So yeah, I'm very passionate about helping, and then just seeing, my family, not how it is a trickle effect, it goes to mental, spiritually, emotional, physically, and my mother and my grandmother and a lot of people in my family literally passed away early due to stress, mental, not able to come out of their mental state of mind, I guess, and just depression takes over, and just seeing that those things hand on, it just, it has to be something done. Something. I mean, there's answers for everything, so
Oh, yeah.
just keep trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like your upbringing really has a lot to do with it, because
Oh yeah.
you can feel what they're feeling. Like,
Yeah.
you empathize, you are able to use your experiences in order to help them,
Yeah,
and I think
and as a
that's really
parent,
good.
I have 5 children of my own,
Mm.
and oh my God, like when you don't have what you need for your kids and family, or the world what the world feel like you should need, and things like that, it's I guess after that, it really made me want to say I got to do something, because people don't speak for the kids, and nobody speaks for the kids really. I'm not saying nobody, but in their home, somebody has to have a voice, then who do they go to for that voice? Um, so that's what I'm still working on all that too. Because putting yourself in the right position, you have to be economically ready and prepared to meet the standards of certain standards and guidelines and things like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's what I'm working toward.
Wow.
Have a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It seems like you're really busy.
Yeah.
Like especially with those 5 kids. I didn't even
Yeah.
know that you had 5 kids. That's
Yeah.
crazy. How do you like balance everything and like um have that drive to keep doing what you're doing even though um you're probably so busy still?
Yeah. Well, determination. When you have a vision, you might not know exactly how it's gonna. Well, you have a vision. Once you have a vision, you kind of just it gives you a drive. And as long as you're working on something every day to do something toward that, it really inspires me. It keeps me motivated. Me knowing that once I reach a certain level, bringing the things back together. Because I was married. I got married early, had my children early. So it's like I never had my tools for life.
Hmm.
So of course, things happen. I'm like, wow. But that's something that I'm fighting for. Like this is like, and then also be an example. Like when life gives you the worst, what are you gonna do? Just lay dead and die, or just correct it? However it takes, just do something different to put yourself in a different position. Because I don't want to do the same thing and get the same thing. So people ask me, why don't you go get your? I don't want them here like that, right? Honestly, like this is a place where it's building, but it's a lot going on,
Mm.
honestly. So that's why I really fight for these children, because they have these cards that it's just they were dealt, and they don't really have an option. So when you're able to change things and put things in their face so they can see different things, it'll help them better, know more. So,
Well,
yeah.
that is honestly really inspiring.
Uh-huh.
Wow. So the the people that are first introduced to you might not know exactly what your project does. Could you tell me a little more about the My Selfie Health project, the STEM project, the Creative Care project, and just what that whole thing means to you?
Altogether, it's beautiful. It's a masterpiece, because I feel like everybody's a puzzle, and having that collective impact and a good social impact, it takes collectivity.
Mhm.
And being able to get people like Creative Care from the university, the Selfie Health, they really inspire me to see that people's actually, doing some things that's that in the same lines, and that we can partner and pull it together and make it something for the kids. So that's what we're doing pretty much. But Selfie Health is all about, before you can do anything, you have to, treat people how you want to be treated. But how do you treat yourself is how you're going to treat other people. So self-health is something, like with my situation, I could have been angry, bitter, resentful, but the perception is what matters. And you're changing children's perceptions on their life situations or daily things, because kids are faced with so many different things all day, and they can perceive how many, they can have 20 perceptions a day, way more than that. But think about like they can't really balance all that, and it's going to start bothering them, becomes mind bothering, and then it's something becomes stress, and then adolescent, then you go to depression. No, all these things, to prevent all those things, having the kids grounded within themselves, inspiring them, showing them the different things that life has to offer, because a lot of children don't be exposed to those things that inspire them and believe. They believing is seeing, believing is accepting something you really know that exists. So showing them, it's hard to believe sometimes when they're seeing just negative, negative. So just showing them things, showing them somebody cares, and uplift. After you're showing them, you're actually putting them on another level of 21st century. And the STEM projects, that's what the 21st century, they're 21st century children, so they're not really getting that as much. So I think this will be an opportunity to really let them know what their world is about and how they can connect to it and how they can enjoy it. So it's pulling out their passion, their natural strengths through the self-health and connecting them to STEM. But it's a lot until, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I really grew like that, and I really want to I do things by, a lot of it by experience, but a lot of it by observing and, looking into things. I went to like a deep side of depression once, and at one point, I had to take some medication. I didn't like that medication. I don't like medication because I felt like it's something that I could overcome, even though I didn't know how. But I said, okay. So I went to this Buddhist monk and I meditated for 12 weeks, and I started reading these books and stopped watching TV. I just wanted to clear my mind, total everything, like pre-perceptions, pre-everything, pre-fresh. Like, so that's what I did, and that's why I'm very passionate about the things that I, engage with. I try to stay positive as much as possible in the most hostile situations, but I love CUNY because it's chaos. And sometimes, and I look at chaos like a lot of potential, and there's a lot of creativity in it, but it needs to be directed. So it's a lot of energy. That's all. Like, I look at like a lot of sockets just going all over the place, but if they have something to plug in, it'll work. And a lot of energy, and energy makes the world go round. But not having nothing to plug in is very dangerous.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that was
In
that was
other
that
words.
was really good. Yeah. So, like, it's just one, showing these kids that, although they might not have all the things like on the outside, like all the material
Yeah,
things,
external
they're
things.
finding they're finding themselves, they're finding different ways to perceive their situations and
Most
to
definitely.
take advantage of that.
Right,
I,
right.
for one,
Right.
I really wish I had those programs because
I know.
shoot, yeah, I went through like a similar like depression kind of period, and like
Yeah.
the activities that I've worked with you on would probably definitely really help. So
Oh,
I
thanks.
really commend you on like all
Thank
the work that
you.
you've done.
And that's what I want to share because I know it worked for me. Everybody wears different shoes, but we all have something in common. Everybody has something in common.
Yeah.
The whole world has this one thing in common. So it's like getting to that core is what matters. And then it'll be able to pour out intentionally, constructive, not destructive, but the right way. And if you do it the wrong way, you're able to come back and try to fix it.
Yeah.
So those are the things that kids are able to like, I didn't do that. No, I didn't. You
Yeah.
can't tell me. No, you didn't do it. I did. No, I
Yep.
didn't. But so they're able to face that
Yeah.
and not say, the world's going to judge me. You're pointing fingers at me. And you're okay. You make a mistake. That's what shapes you. So letting them know that, but not too many, learn from them. Like the reflections and the self-reflections and the observations, and those are the things that's going to help them be able to correct those things. Because how can you correct something you don't even see as a problem? But by people pointing them out, the world's always pointing it out. Anybody can point it out, but that person does not see it.
Yeah.
It will not change. Like, that person has to see it. So it's actually allowing that person in a constructive way, a creative way to say, I'm unique, I'm imperfect, but I'm perfect. But what do I want to be? And what do I want to see myself as? What do I want the world to see me as? And then you're tapping into that and you're seeing yourself as that. And you're going to start like following those paths. Like, okay, so if I want to be this, where do I start here and now? How can I do what? Take all my talents, all my imagination, all my energy. Because kids have this crazy imagination. And when you start showing them, I want to be this. You start showing them what and they get more excited. And there you go. You start, so being able to let them pour out because they're full of it. So how do they pour out?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I actually work at a middle school for fifth graders right now, and a lot of the kids that you're describing, I see like so many of those at my middle school.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if like maybe at the end of the pilot, you might be open to, or yeah, you might be open to opening up the system to maybe underfunded or underprivileged schools as well.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that. That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Yeah. 'Cause
And all they like, and kids, do you see how they can rally each other? They know how to push each other buttons.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Oh,
they
yeah.
know it takes one to know one. So like, I'm not feeling good today. I'm about to push it in. I'm about to push it in.
Mm-hmm.
That's like transferring the energy. You know, they don't know what they're doing, but that's how. But knowing that, you know, and kids can be harsh.
Oh yeah.
You know, so being able to acknowledge somebody else is making their feelings valid. You don't have to be like, oh, poor, no, it's not being sympathetic, but just allowing somebody to have their space when they're upset. Allowing, respecting that. You know, so it's just, people have to know that people's space is their space. Like the habitation, like doing a Mars habitation, where's your space? That could be like a mental space. If you was here and here, this is your space. You have the right to say what I want in my space and what I don't want, because it's going to be something you have to carry with you forever, depending on, you know, how you perceive and how you process it. So allow me to process it. Allow me. So that's giving kids to know that part.
Yeah.
But I would love that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I would love that. I mean,
Yeah.
because that's very important. Like, that is very important because kids need to know early. You know, if they knew
Right.
early, because then another thing I've noticed, I have a 19-year-old son. He, as soon as he got out of, you know, system, he graduated, he came right back home to me. He did not want to take the medicine. He got into a, you know, things happen. But this is what a lot of kids experience. You know, the medicine is one thing, and then kids really don't want to take it, you know. You know, so I was like, I don't like it. But so we started, you know, we do smoothies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's good. He don't take it. And he's good.
Gotcha.
Literally, we do smoothies. We, you know, get him a game so he can stay busy. We going out and showing him what I'm doing, you know, so he can start, you know,
Yeah.
and all these different things. And it's all about allowing kids, well, giving them ways to express, not just giving them, but letting them know it's okay to express, because they're, you know, kids are growing, be quiet, you can't say that, stop crying, stop. So they become emotionally disturbed early. Like, that's disturbing. I can't cry, but I'm hurt.
Yeah.
You know, so that's traumatizing after a while. And then the kids are picking on them. Then, so all these things, it's a trickle effect. So we got to get the kids early so they can know that you have control over your mind, your heart, your life. At a certain point, you're going to have to take over. So how are you going to prepare yourself for that? You know, I mean, people are going to tell you what to do all your life. You know, parents don't even know what to do sometimes with themselves, with you. So it's like getting everybody knowing that they have some type of accountability, even no matter the age. You still have accountability. You know, so, and letting them know that energy is good. You're hyper, you have good energy, but you have to be smart with it. Like, if you was a gas station, would you just let people take your energy? Come just, you know, would you pour it on the ground, would you fill it into something? You know, so it's like putting that energy into something. And they get it, you know, so it's like just really breaking it down to them on a way they can understand. Like, for instance, I was thinking for the kids, you know, they had these big wobble balls, like kids bouncing around. I was thinking for, like, you know, for the kids in the gym, turning the lights off after you talk about energy and how energy is real and you transfer it. And you're next to your friend, you bounce it to her, she's gonna feel it, and she's gonna transfer it to somebody else. So it's like, you know, just a little thing, but just showing them, letting them see what it looks like is helping for them, because they don't know what it looks like. They don't know what a lot of things look like. But if you actually kind of, to the best of your ability, to show them kind of what it might look like and what it can look like based on different decision making at that moment, because every day is, all day you're making decisions, biggest to the smallest, and they can be, so you got to know how you got to respond, or it will respond to you in so many ways. So.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Just a clarification question. When you say your oldest son got out of the system, what exactly did you mean?
I'm sorry, my children was, okay, my mom passed away.
Oh, okay.
2008. And
Sorry to hear
then
about that.
my husband vanished the same month. So I went to a deep depression, like crazy. I was working, had everything going, you know, but it just became very burdensome. So I started drinking a lot. I didn't even drink, but I started making myself drink. But I was still working. I felt like I was functional. I was working in eye doctor, optometrist's office, actually, in the Woodlands. And I was doing good, so I thought. But I let my friend move in with me. She had 4 kids. She called CPS on me because I had to kind of tell her she had to move because she was about to get me evicted, you know. So, you know, it was one thing, but then they seemed to the alcohol and marijuana in my system at that time. So, yeah. But honestly, I went through the whole thing, did way more than they wanted me to.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to see the therapist anymore. I felt like it was defeating. I felt like it wasn't working. And then I didn't want to take the medicine, so they penalized me for that.
Mm.
I felt like they penalized me for that. I'm going to say that because that's when they're like, well, you don't want to do that. And so that's when they made their own decision. Yeah. So they're with their grandma, which she lives in Dickinson, but she brings them on weekends here and there.
Okay.
So, but my whole point of saying that too is that, medicine is not the answer. It's a Band-Aid. It's like
true.
this is like a root. You can't kill something with spray. You got to get to the root. And I feel like Sylvia Health is helping get to the root and partnering with all of the creative care and the HITCH and the STEM, and the National like STEM Innovation Networks. We're working on a higher level and getting all these communities together. And then, because that's another thing, community was important a long time ago because we were seeing it. Now it's got so broken that people are not seeing it. They don't even see family structure, so how can you see a community structure? So they can't even see the picture is cloudy to a lot of people, so it's like getting to the root of it. We're like really starting from the bottom up, literally. So yeah.
Gotcha. So I guess we are approaching time, mostly because I have to go back to school soon.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any last words about just the program, what you want to see out of My Selfie Health, or just generally out of the kids?
Well, I would Selfie Health. It has so much it can be done with it, but getting it into these communities, I think, is the first part, and connecting it with the schools of the communities where the kids are going. That's the start, because it's like building a support system for that kid.
Yeah.
Every kid have a support system, getting that mentor, and just starting there.
Yeah.
And nutrition, of course, is physical, mental, mind, body, spiritual type thing.
Yeah.
But like a holistic approach, But yeah, I think I believe it's gonna be really great because it starts at the basics. Well, not actually. Basics is kind of what people see, so it's going underneath
Like
the surface.
The foundation of it.
Yeah, and just now, and it's also empowering people because a lot of people's life are based on a foundation that they didn't even build. So
Yeah.
it actually gives them more like confidence and, oh, I can do this. I did this, and I'm proud of myself. Oh my God. Like I don't, and then like with the boys teaching the fish, like this Selfie Health is like that, but I don't want people giving me fish. I don't like every fish. I want to learn to fish. If I want a shark, I want to know where to catch that shark. If I want some salmon, I want to know where to catch that or whatever, So it's giving kids that empowerment and the confidence to know that they have the ability now they can connect to people. I'm not disconnected, and now I can be benefit, I can contribute, and I can also receive. It's like a giving and taking. Now you have something that you feel good about because you feel a part of, because you're actually, doing something worthwhile. Gotcha. I'm not saying that does something worthwhile, but I mean,
no, that was great.
Something daring, I guess. And teach the kids to dare, like, I dare you, like, it's not like challenges, challenge yourself.
Yeah.
A good challenge, not just burn yourself up, challenge yourself. Like it's hard for people to say something nice to each other. Good challenge.
Honestly,
so that'd be something like, I challenge you to tell somebody, like, kids that, y'all, oh, look at your hair, look at your whatever, look at, they always find something wrong.
Yeah.
So say something nice, and that's a challenge. That would be a good, meaningful challenge. Snapchat that while you're doing it. A stranger. I don't know you, but you're really cool looking, or whatever. Oh, whatever.
Yeah. No, I do that all the time. Like, if they have cool hair, cool glasses.
I know, right?
You have, yeah.
I know.
Just
I'll be
give them a
like,
compliment.
I do it too much. I'll be like, oh, I don't want to think but it's good. Compliments are good, So, yeah.
For sure. Thank you so much for doing this, by the way.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Let's see how much time we had. Okay. That was